Hi, this is Matthies. Welcome to the Volleyball Hall of Fame. I was privileged to start playing volleyball, watching my parents. They bought an old beach shack, 16th Street in the Strand, Manhattan Beach. So I was born and raised in a pretty unbelievable spot. Who knew? We didn't know. We just took it for granted. We were little kids. But my parents played, and their group of friends all played in front of us. And Kirk Kilgore, which was an old volleyball legend, he lived up the street. Phil Edwards was a great surfer. He lived next door. All these guys, they were older than me, but younger than my parents would play. And I think I started playing, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, just watching my folks, and then kind of started playing with the guys or the men as beach partners, and just sort of started from there, and it's never stopped. 61 years later, it's never stopped. I think growing up, inspirations for women, there weren't very many women athletes, let alone women like volleyball players. So I mostly grew up kind of with guys and then with the men. And I think Charlie Sakeley was a huge factor in my volleyball career as I started working for him in Manhattan Beach at the pier. So he sort of was like a mentor for me. And Buzz Schwartz, who was a wonderful human being, and was one of probably my most favorite mixed doubles player, or someone that I trained with and played with when I was very young, probably 13, 14, 15, on until we were older when we played doubles together. But those people were sort of the people that I looked up to, the way they looked at the sport, and they were really classy individuals and great emissaries for the sport and for just athletics in general. I don't know that they had ratings. We were really rated when we were younger. I started playing my first tournaments probably in 66 and 67, 68, so I was 13, 14, 15. Probably my most memorable of not playing with a peer like someone my own age was the Manhattan Open in 1967. I actually played with Kathy Gregory, because her partner, something happened. Her partner didn't show up. She obviously was from Santa Monica. I didn't even really know her. And I was just down there watching. And someone said, oh, that little girl can play. And so we played, and then I got third in Manhattan Open. And I was 14. And I think they had open ratings, but I don't know if we had, we didn't have A, double A. They just didn't have that then. But all I knew, I was like, hey, maybe I could do this on a different kind of level. So that was my first really recollection of understanding, ratings and how to, win. And we were playing against, obviously at that point in time, the best women that were playing. So it's pretty cool. My toughest opponents when we were younger were some people that probably don't get much recognition these days. And I was thinking about this. Jean Buonicardi and Jeanette Latreille were someone who, were the older women. I don't know how old they were, but, they were older than we were for sure. I was 15, maybe. And that was our big competition in those days to play against. And then in the different eras, that was like the 60s, 70s, 80s, I kind of the 90s, 2000s. And then, I battled with Kathy Gregory kind of all the way up through, through the 80s until we kind of turned pro, and then it probably became Linda Chisholm, Jackie Silva, Carolyn Kirby, that group of the Olympic girls kind of coming in. So it's sort of that ebbed and flowed, throughout my decades of playing. You don't want to leave anybody out. Partners. I enjoyed a good part of my life playing with Linda Hanley, Linda Robertson at the time. It was not Linda Hanley when we played. And I was thinking about why I picked partners, and usually it was because people I enjoyed being around. I was maybe a little cocky and thought I could win with anybody. So it was more about someone who you want to enjoy spending time with. And so Julie Sharr, Linda Hanley, Elaine Roquet were probably my favorite partners, were people that I enjoyed being with, training and traveling and kind of hanging. So those are my top 3, I'd say. I think all of us are from Manhattan. I didn't like playing Santa Monica. just didn't like that. It's so funny now. I'm that way, But But I didn't like Santa Monica. But anywhere else in the country, love playing. Love playing in Florida, Cincinnati, anywhere. You put me on a beach and I'm pretty happy. It's not Santa Monica. My biggest wins, when we played, when there was no money, so everyone was pretty localized. So Manhattan, Hermosa, Rosecrans, played over. I played. I was a South Bay kid. We didn't really go to Santa Barbara or Santa Monica or anywhere. So I think my biggest wins were in Manhattan. At Hermosa, I loved because both, born and raised. That's kind of where I trained. And all my buds were down there, and all the pals were, cheering for you. But I'd say my biggest wins were in the Manhattan Open and Hermosa Open as well. Play. I think right now everyone's training. It sort of drives me crazy. Driving up and down the Strand or anywhere, and everyone's got their trainer out there and everyone's doing all these drills. And I think the best way to learn anything is by just doing. And I think that people get away from playing the game. You got to learn. You got to play. You just have to play volleyball. And you got to play with the old lady down the street and the young kids and the old guys and the mixed and anyone that you can play with and make them better or learn the little bits and pieces of everyone. I think that's my suggestion to recreational players. Just play and enjoy. No, I've had a wonderful, wonderful life being involved with volleyball. I think, my recollections are from 12 years old to I retired playing in the WPBA when I was 40, and now coaching the Collegiate. Sand is like a dream. It's amazing to me that I've been able to be involved in this game for as long as I have. So I think it's a passion, and stay passionate about what you do and love what you do, and hopefully you follow your dreams and get to enjoy every day.